Hey you, so let's talk about Captain America 2 today. So basically, Captain America 2 was phenomenal. It was, I think, has to be the second best standalone Marvel film that they've come out with. My favorite still is Iron Man, but, I mean, Captain America 2 comes really close. Just because of the Winter Soldier's hair. No, I'm kidding. But, nevertheless, I have to say that Captain America 2 was by far better than Captain America, the first one, because, I mean, that one was... it was okay. It wasn't the greatest. I mean, nothing beats the Avengers, but Captain America 2 and Iron Man come really close. So, Captain America 2, the Winter Soldier. Let's just jump right into to how it starts and everything. Spoilers, because obviously I'm probably going to talk about a lot of stuff in the movie. So if you haven't seen it, please don't watch unless you like being told what is in the movie. And surprisingly, I'm not one of those people that reacts so harshly to spoilers. Like, I mean, at some point I was supposed to know, okay, it's a shame I didn't get surprised, but I mean, I'm surprised when you tell me. So, I mean, I'm not really a big, huge, oh god, no spoilers kind of guy. But, I mean, I do like to be surprised in a film, but, I mean, I'm not gonna kill you if you spoil it for me. Like, I already knew ahead of time in Captain America 2, spoilers, real spoilers, that the two after credit little snippets were the Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch after credit scene, and then the Bucky going back to the memorial of him, or the Winter Soldier going back to the memorial of Bucky, and basically you figure out that he knows who he is now. So I already knew about those two, so it wasn't a big deal to me. I mean, I'd already heard about them ahead of time. So anyway, Captain America 2 starts out, it started out interestingly, with him running and with Falcon and everything. But I mean, when I went into the film, what I thought of like just a little story about the Winter Soldier. I did not expect the huge SHIELD and Hydra thing that was going on. How Hydra basically was growing inside of SHIELD. I was not expecting that. There were a lot of that was just a huge thing that I was not expecting. So I think that right there, that little thing that was in it was just so surprising. I mean, it basically turns the tables on, like, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the show. It turns the tables for everything after this movie. I mean, it was just a huge turning point in the Marvel Phase 2. I mean, in the entire Marvel, where they're going with it, it's just a huge turning point. I mean, that's a great way to just go with it. I mean, so we have that, and that was impressive. I mean, my only argument against the movie is that the fact that the SHIELD and Hydra thing was so huge, I felt that there should have been more people involved instead of just being a Captain America story. I mean, it's a great Captain America story. I mean, it really is, but in reality, I think what would have sold it better is if it was more than just a Captain America movie, like an actual, like, there are more people involved. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily Avengers story worthy, but I mean, it's hard not to be something where Captain America alone has to take on the fact. I mean, the Winter Soldier and Captain America, that sort of thing that they had going there, the fact that the Winter Soldier's Bucky and he has that connection to his past and now where he is now. I mean, that definitely is Captain America worthy. That definitely shouldn't have been soiled by other people involved. The Winter Soldier himself is not an Avengers story, but I mean the SHIELD and Hydra thing, that was more. It should have been more. I mean, one of the big questions I have is where the fuck was Hawkeye? I mean, honestly, where the hell was he? He's even SHIELD. I mean, he should have been there. I mean, there should have been more people involved. I mean, Falcon was a nice addition, but I mean, there should have been some more. Yeah, there should have been more people involved, but still, nonetheless, I mean, you can still go against that opinion, but I mean, Captain America 2 definitely is solid, is fantastic. I mean, the emotion that you feel for Captain America and where he is now and how he dealt with, like, how he feels towards the peace or the Project Insight, basically, and you just relate with how he does things and how he basically wants to solve the problems in the world. I mean, that was, you feel for him there, and then you feel for him when his past comes and connects with him in now, which is with Bucky. I mean, you feel with that. You feel the emotion behind Bucky. Anyway, you basically feel the emotion behind Bucky and, like, how he knew who Captain America was before. I mean, he has that moment where he's like, I knew who that person was on the bridge. I mean, that was emotion felt. I mean, you feel the emotion when Captain America is fighting the Winter Soldier on the helicarrier, and he's like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to have to do this. I don't want to keep fighting you. I mean, you feel for that too. I mean, that emotion that was felt, like the characters. You feel for more of the characters. You feel for more of Black Widow. You feel. I mean, there's more character development in this film, and I mean, there's like non-stop action too. I mean, not once was I feeling like this movie lacked in any sort of action, and like the action and the emotion was like on par. There was no point in time where I felt the movie was boring. I mean, the movie was just phenomenal in the fact that it had a good balance of both emotion and action. There was not too much action to the point where you don't feel for the characters in the fight scenes, or there was no point in time where the action was anything lacking. I mean, the action was just non-stop, and it was really good. It was really good action-packed stuff. I mean, there were some great fight scenes that will go down in history in that movie. Like, it was just phenomenal. Phenomenal. I mean, that's all I can really say about Captain America 2 that just stood out to me. I mean, the emotion and how you developed like feelings for the characters over and you kind of like had to understand and feel for where they were and how they were. And I think there was a good amount of surprise in the film. There was a good amount of just turning points and stuff. I mean, I think it was sort of a story that you've seen before. Well, not seen before. It's like a story that is sort of it's sort of like a generic sort of story where, you know, there's something that it's like the flash drive. What's on the flash drive, and who can I trust to know what I have? And like Captain America's got like entire shield against him, and I thought that was interesting and new, and like the fight scenes from that. I mean, when he fucking took down that fucking shield plane with his shield alone, I mean, that was fucking badass. But I mean, just the story with who can I trust with the intel that I am keeping, and like the last words of like protect and don't trust anybody, like protect us with your life and shit. That is like a storyline that we've seen before, but they took it differently, and they had different storylines and well, not different storylines, but basically they had different ways of going about the story. They took it to a new level, and I mean, there was no like, oh, I've seen this before kind of deal. I mean, I can understand. It's the generic like basis of a plot, but I mean, it's not like, oh, I've seen this before. It's like in every movie. It was like with the Winter Soldier and the dealing with Shield. It didn't almost feel like it came from that sort of plot line. Like, it started from the flash drive and don't trust anybody, but then it's spread out into these two sort of different ways of going about the movie. So in no way was it a repeat of any sort of generic storyline. It spawned from that, and they used that start to go somewhere else with it, and I thought that was phenomenal how they did that. I've been using phenomenal a lot during this. So basically, that's what I have to say. Captain America 2. I am still in shock. Like, I'm still trying to process what happened in that movie, and I cannot wait for Avengers 2, which should be coming out. Is it 2016 or 2016? I think should be coming out 2016 or I think I have to check on that. I mean, they're filming now, so I mean, I've seen they started filming with Captain America yesterday, so like they actually started filming with Chris Evans yesterday. I saw the leaked photos, April 4th, 2014, Avengers 2: Age of Ultron. So I mean, they're starting it now. I just can't wait, and I can't wait for the Amazing Spider-Man 2. That will be badass. I'm so looking forward to that movie. I mean, I'm gonna go in not with like high hopes that it's gonna be such a great film, but I mean, I can't help but think that way. But I mean, I'm gonna keep my eyes open and be open about my opinion of the film, so that I don't lean towards this is gonna be such a badass movie and then be like let down. I'm just gonna go with it. I'm just gonna hope for the best. I mean, I hope this movie is fantastic, because I mean, The Amazing Spider-Man is like one of my favorite movies. So that ought to help me lean towards Amazing Spider-Man 2. But I think there's just gonna be so much more stuff. I think it's gonna be like Captain America 2, where there's just so much more emotion and action. Like there's the two villains the two primary villains, and then there's Rhino that I think is going to be at the beginning and the end. But you've got Green Goblin, who's Harry, so that's going to be emotion. That's feeling like the Winter Soldier and Captain America. You're going to have Harry and Peter, since they're best friends as well. And then you're going to have Electro, who that's going to be pretty awesome. So I hope for the best at where they're going for it. I'll probably be watching The Amazing Spider-Man like 3 more times before I see it, so I just hope for the best in that film, and I can't wait for it. It should be coming May 2nd. I'm going to be there first in line, like Captain America 2. Going to be there as fast as I can. So, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.